Trixie Boo, my cat. So my name is Meagan Michael. I am a seer, a seeker, a visionary, a medium, and a huge cat and animal and dog lover. And oh my gosh. So today I'm so excited because my incredible guest today, this is the new series is called Coming Up Next. This is our series, our leading edge of thought series for 2021 and beyond, talking to spirit directly through different trance mediums and channelers. So here we are today with the world-renowned trance medium Janine Lane. Janine is incredible. She channels her spirit guides Alice and Richard, and who knows who else might come through. We don't even know. And please join me today in welcoming Janine Lane.
I'm here. Megan's got me here after all this time. 2 months down the road.
Oh, I'm so glad. We've been wanting to do this for a while, and it manifested today. Just perfectly timed the day after solstice, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm just so pleased to be here. I really am, Megan. It's a great joy. It really is.
Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. And I wanted to share with you something. If there's feedback, which there might be, because I couldn't hear you before. When your guides come on, what I'll do, and I can even try it now, when you're speaking, especially with the guides, because they normally speak longer, and then when the only time I want to click on unmute. So what I'm saying is I'll mute my microphone. So this way there won't be any feedback when your guides are speaking.
Oh, so you'll ask the question, and then when they start speaking, you'll mute. Yeah, I'm with you. Right. Awesome.
Yeah. Like I just did then, but I had to remember to unmute to talk again. So, but that's what I can do because I don't want the and spirit just pop that into my awareness. So let's see who's here. We have guests here. We haven't even shared it out yet. We're just so happy to be here.
You want me to share or are you sharing?
We're both going to share it. Let's just
right. I'll just
my official sharer, the incredible Kim Siegel. I love her, and she is probably out. She's going to be out for the day, and so. I'm going to share to groups.
Oh, that was easy. I didn't need any admin to share.
Say that again, please.
I didn't need any admin to share. Hang on.
Right.
Oh God. Right, that's shared.
Coming up next. I have got to get a hold of myself here. I'm feeling this wave of creativity. I'm like, wait, you're live right now. You can't just go with the flow. I mean, I do, but I have to rein it into what we're doing here. Let's see, Meagan Michael and trance medium Janine.
Oh, yeah, I've noticed you got a new microphone. You used to have your headset, didn't you, before?
Yes, I did. I still do, but it's not connected, and I couldn't do it in a timely manner. So we'll just have to try it this way today. Let's just see if it works when I'm muted, because right now I'm not muted because I'm sharing.
It's okay at the moment. It comes and goes.
Oh, really?
No, it's back again now. Sorry, that didn't last for long, did it?
All right. I'm also sharing us to Julie and Debbie's groups. And, I think if they don't want to approve it, that's okay, but I think they probably do. I'm sharing it to your group right now.
Oh, bless.
You're very welcome. All right. Is there anybody else?
I can't see the live stream on here.
You can't see the live stream? All right, hang on. I'll get it for you.
Oh no, that's all right. It might be because of my iPad. You don't know, do you? So
Kim is here and she shared. Oh, Kim, I love you. Thank you. I thought you were at the store. She would have shared if she was here. I know her. She was nice of her.
I'm just getting used to this Be Live. I can type messages. What else can I do? I'm not pressing any buttons because I'm probably disconnected.
No, I think you really can't do much with Be Live on your end. It's cool when if you're the host, then you can do.
You can do it, yeah.
So make sure. Let me see if we're on YouTube. Not that I could do anything if we weren't. I wouldn't actually stop the broadcast. But I need to see if people are there and we'll say hello and stuff. And there we are. I think.
Oh, I can see people there.
We are. Hello, Lisa Gunston. Hello, Deborah O'Brien. Hi, Penelope Rose Chandler. Hi, everybody. Oh, I'm so glad you're all here. This is awesome. This is awesome. And you're on YouTube. I love that so much. I'm telling you, YouTube is where all my amazing content is going to be going. I do recommend you join our group on Facebook as well, because we love Facebook. Love, love, love. That's where our soul family lives. But all over the world, but energetically, we have a hub here in the Facebook group. But YouTube is where all, because Spirit keeps, inspiring me to be expansive and to share, have my content accessible for the whole world. And that is going to happen. That's happening on YouTube. And so that's why I have both of them, but that's where my personal focus is. So Janine Lane, I know you have a lot of fans out there already, but for those people that maybe don't know who you are yet and what you do, can you let everybody know, please?
Oh, right. Okay, then. Well, I'm Janine Lane. Meagan has kindly offered to have me on her live stream tonight, which is a great honour. I just love you to bits. Love to sit here with you with Spirit. I do trance mediumship. I've only just sort of started out on it, so my guides are starting to bring their inspiration through and bringing their guidance through and information. And I teach as well on the odd occasion when I'm feeling inclined to teach. Spirit just draw me to that when it's the right time to do it. So I'm just sort of getting out there on that path, really, just starting out and doing my spiritual art, connecting to spirit, starting some trance workshops in the spring, February. So I'm just sort of running the gatherings, helping mediums get onto the gatherings, and it's so important to me.
What are the gatherings, Janine? Because I don't think everybody knows about this yet. Because you host these, and I'll let you talk about it, but Janine hosts these amazing gatherings, world-class. It's in a very small group. It's, you know what I mean? That's why I'm really glad that we're here, like on YouTube and on Facebook publicly, to talk about this, because they can join your group and be invited to your gatherings. And tell them all about these gatherings, please.
Yeah, well, the gatherings are they're sort of every weekend mainly. And what I try to do is get a different medium on each week with different abilities, different gifts, to try and help other mediums get out there, because I think it's so important to be able to not always work in the same space, but encourage that for support, you know what I mean, rather than separate ways all the time, because it isn't always just about me and the trance guide. But we do Q&A as well with the guide. People can come in and ask questions, receive inspiration from the spirit world. It's just really nice, small community, getting mediums together. It's really important, particularly now during this time.
So you're saying that we bring in a medium, doesn't have to be new, but I mean a medium, someone who's a medium and maybe who wouldn't be out there or for whatever reason anyway. So you bring this awesome medium to your group and they do a demonstration and then you do a trance demonstration. And this is all free every day, every week? Not every day, but every week.
Every weekend. It's mainly Saturdays or Sundays. It's all free, and it is literally just speaking the word of spirit and helping other mediums to show their light. Because to me, my guides have always installed this. It's about helping people show their light, speaking their word for spirit, sharing their abilities. I mean, not everybody is going to want to get out there and publicly show their abilities, and some people want to not do that.
Of course,
obviously, but it gives opportunity for that. And it's not just mediums, it's just general people that are interested and curious and want to hear the word from spirit, that they can join in, they can just sit there in the gathering, they don't have to speak, they can just observe, listen, be in the energy of spirit and just get that inspiration. Because if it reaches one person in that gathering, to me, that's made all of a difference, really. Do you know what I mean?
I love that, Janine. I love what you're doing. I really do. Yeah, I really do, my dear.
I'm echoing, so I'm having two voices here, so I'm going, It's
Ross McMaster is saying very hard to hear, Janine, not loud. And Lisa's saying yes, very quiet. Can you raise your volume, Janine?
All right, I've just done that. Can you hear me? Is that better?
Let me see. Say something again.
Can you hear me? Is that loud enough?
Let us know, guys, because
I won't be able to tell otherwise.
Yeah, because when you move away from the microphone, it is harder to hear you.
Right. Okay.
And I know when you go into trance, sometimes your guides have different levels of voice, and their voices are different. So,
is that better?
What do you think, guys? It takes about a minute for them to respond. I mean, for us to see the responses. So. Waiting to see. Hi, Julie Lee Glass. How are you? Hello, Kim. Hi, Becky Beckner. Hello, everybody. Can everybody hear Janine? Let us know on both platforms.
If you can hear me, guys, let me know.
She said no. Same thing. So still. Well, we can only do our best, you know? And so let's figure out what the best is with your, how close can you get it to your mouth?
Is that hello?
I can do it like this. I swear. I can do...
Oh, is that better? I've just turned the iPad upside down.
Are you closer to the microphone now?
Yeah. Can anyone hear that?
What do you think, guys? Is that any better? Penelope was saying still quiet. I wonder if okay, Kim Siegel is saying she can hear.
She can hear. Okay.
What if I make it louder? See, I don't think that's your volume. I think that's mine. Let me see if there's any adjustment over here. So
lots of technology.
Oh, that just sounded louder.
Oh,
hello, Brian. All right. Well, I think that's as good as it's going to get right now, and then hopefully Janine will put it on her Christmas list. Hey, on Janine's Christmas list, guys, earpods. Yeah, earpods so she can talk. Yeah.
Can they hear me now? They should be able to hear me. I'll speak as loudly as I can.
Yeah, speak as loudly as you can, and we ask you all to turn up your volume. I'll speak a little more softly so you can balance it. This way you don't get blasted out of your chair when I'm shouting and she's whispering.
What were we talking about anyway? You were asking a question. I can't remember what you asked now.
We were talking about the gatherings, your gatherings.
Yeah, so, you don't have to all be spiritual and all mediums to come along. You can just come along because you're wanting to hear the word from spirit and just want to be in that vibrational energy, isn't it? Because it's so important that we're in that higher vibration now, isn't it? To maintain that and to be around that energy, I think it's really important during this time. Wow,
what you just said just like opened up something, like a whole thing from spirit. I'm like, oh,
I'm not going to be interviewed. I'm not going to be interviewed. You'll have to ask me the questions, Meagan.
Wow, that was awesome. That was super awesome. What I'm finding out, every Sunday when I interview my incredible guests, the energy is always really high and it's super exciting. And I love every one of my guests. But I must say, I'm very extra drawn, and I have been since the whole start of my journey. I need to finish one sentence at a time. I know, I get that. I'm so excited about all of it. I'm like, I want to talk 3 sentences all at once. And, telepathically, that makes perfect sense. But verbally, sometimes it really doesn't translate.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
What was I about to say? I swear.
You were talking about gatherings.
We were talking about gather. Oh, yes. Okay. So like yesterday, with David Strickle and the stream of I love channelers and trance mediums. I love being in the energy of spirit directly in that way. I love spending time with spirit in that energy. Exactly what you're talking about, Janine. You host these gatherings, people who want to sit in that energy. I guess it doesn't really matter necessarily whether it's a medium or a psychic or somebody with owls, right? If the energy is super high and spirit's there, it's a gathering.
Yeah, it's like, some people might get bored about hearing this, but it's, to me, my guides have always said to me, it is about helping ourselves and loving ourselves. Obviously, we need to do that, but it is about essentially helping others too and bringing people together, Oh, I don't know how you do it, follow the live stream and talk.
Say that again.
I don't know how you follow the live stream and talk.
Oh, it's amazing. I'm really good at it too. Because it's not interesting, because if I try to record, I don't try. That's a lame word, trying to do something. You're not really doing it. You're not doing it. You're not doing it. You're trying. What does that even mean? You're trying. Anyway, so while I forgot what I was saying, but that was a good riff.
Oh, fire away. I'm here to answer any questions anyway.
That's so funny. So let me ask you, before you go into trance and bring your beautiful guides, she's saying, I can hear you very well here in Scotland. Thank you very much. Allison Reynolds, hello. And Mystical Gypsy saying hello, Meagan and Janine. And Bonnie, thank you, Bonnie, says sound is good. Oh, guys, I want to show you something. So do you see that beautiful calendar on my wall over there? Yeah, next to my messy things, but on that, isn't that beautiful? Thank you, Bonnie. I unboxed it yesterday. I had no idea. is so thoughtful and such a beautiful gift. And I just thank you very much. I'm so touched.
I just love the sunflowers. She's done that on the calendar.
And you can't really appreciate like how sparkly it is. It's sequins. It's so. And yesterday when I unboxed it, Janine, I unboxed it. I was drawn to wear a sweater that I have never worn on camera in 2.5 years of live streaming. I've never worn it on camera. I haven't worn it at all. You know, it just is in my closet. I'm like, I'm really drawn to wear that sweater today. There I was wearing the sweater with a sparkly butterfly right there, and I'm opening this up on camera, and I'm like, oh my God, there's a sparkly butterfly, and I'm wearing a sparkly butterfly. You have to see the video. It's on YouTube right now. Right now, it's just called My Broadcast. I have to rename it. But it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. You know?
Flower on there now. Is that
this is a sunflower.
Oh my God, look at that. Wow. Love it.
Love my sunflower. We turn to face the sun. We always face the light. That's really.
I could see Meagan when she goes to spirit world. She'd be running through all the sunflowers and going, "Oh!"
Oh, please! I didn't wait. I did it nearby. It was a beautiful big. I wasn't running though. I like the idea of running, although you couldn't really run through the field. They're quite tall. You could run. Anyway, it's so fun. It's interesting when I was interviewing yesterday, having a conversation with Source yesterday through David Strickle, right, channeling the stream of David, and twice the stream said that I'm solution oriented, and I so am. But it was really interesting to hear Source Energy tell me that. You know, sometimes it really is activating having someone or all or everything. You mirror something back to you that you already are, but you don't really maybe see yourself in that way or understand that it's a really big asset or it's a big thing, you know, until somebody mirrors it back to you. And then you're like, oh, you see that in me too. I like that about me too. Maybe I want to do more on that with that. And you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't have to be spirit. It could be a friend with spirit channeling through, whatever, you know.
My guides are always talking at gatherings about reflections and mirrors of seeing ourselves and seeing that reflection of us and appreciating that. Do you know what I mean? It's about loving ourselves, not in a vain way, but loving ourselves unconditionally and seeing that, isn't it? Because quite often we can look at other people and we think, well, why aren't we connecting to them? But it's because we're not looking inside ourselves, and it's looking in to be able to connect outside of ourselves. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense. Absolutely. Whenever there's any judgment, it's if you're judging somebody else, it's because turn it around and recognize that finger you're pointing is back at you. If you think somebody is, I'm not even going to suggest things. If you think someone is this or that and it doesn't resonate with you, you're like, oh, this person is that. Well, it's because you think you're that, and it's triggering to you. The only reason they're triggering you, or they're not doing it. The only reason you're being triggered by them, by their whole the fact that they're there is because there's something inside of you that needs to evolve. That you can learn from. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Your external reality is a mirror of your internal landscape.
Yeah. Beautiful. Right? Yeah, definitely.
So your guys are very wise. So let me ask you before you leave. So I'm really excited to ask you a couple of questions.
Sorry, carry on. Yeah, carry on. I'll answer your question. Yeah, what are you saying, Meagan?
So I guess I want to ask. Okay, what is like the best question ever to ask a trance medium before she goes into trance? Let's see. What advice would you give to anyone wanting to connect? Okay, I've got two questions coming in at the same time. One is like giving advice to people about how to connect to spirit, but the other one is kind of like how you receive it. I think it might even be more interesting to know how you feel, see, hear, whatever, because I think that'll answer the question that I almost asked.
Hang on, can you say that again, Meagan? Because
sorry, I'm telling you, I'm doing the telepathy thing now, but it's my mouth is still doing like.
It's like you're asking how I connect to spirit in what
That's
way?
it. How does it feel to you, or sound, or what is your experience when you are connecting with spirit?
I mean, mediumistically, if I was like doing readings or a clairvoyance or what have you, I tend to hear them like I'm hearing you in the room. It sounds a bit strange, but sometimes I hear them in the head telepathically, and sometimes I hear them in the room. it's quite distracting. It's like having a conversation with two people. So
Okay.
you're sat there and they're talking here. So sometimes clairvoyantly and sometimes audiently in the room. So if it's readings, but the energies, I know some people get lots of physical sensations, don't they? Like if the person's passed, they feel their physical elements. My guides are really good at keeping that off me. So they bring a little bit of it to me in sensations, and then they'll explain the rest. So they try and keep it off my energy, so I don't take on too much. Do you know what I mean? So
I know exactly what you mean, because I don't feel that. Me too. I have boundaries. I said I don't want to feel somebody else. I don't want to know how they died and vividly. I don't want to feel that.
yeah,
You know. So I like to hear it from you as well, that you do that similar thing. You know.
It's just little boundaries, isn't it? Okay, come closer into my energy, but I want to understand what happened to you, but I don't really want to experience it all the time. So
Well, that's exactly it.
yeah,
I don't want to experience it. I want to know I care, but I don't want to feel it personally. You know, I know what you're saying. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Hi, Kathy.
connect really clairvoyantly, and with the trance, it's very much different. I tend to go in peaks and troughs, so sometimes I'll completely fall asleep and I won't have any awareness at all, and other times it's like, you know, when you can hear somebody talking in the other room but you can't make out what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
You're next door and you're trying to listen in, but you can't hear nothing, can you?
Quite nosy, aren't you, trying to listen in? What are they saying? Like I'm like ear to the wall, you know?
So it's sort of like I keep from sleep state to that state. So the awareness comes a little bit forward and then dips down a little bit more. And it just sort of goes like that all the time, like that in trance. So, and it's different. And I suppose in the beginning of doing trance, I used to get lots of clairvoyance coming through, whereas now I don't get anything coming through. It's just sort of all blackness. But every medium is different, aren't they? Every trance medium is different. You know, each trance medium will say, actually, I get loads of imagery through, and the other trance medium will say, well, I don't get anything. So it depends how your team's working. I don't think any trance medium or clairvoyant medium or psychic artist is going to work the same way as the next person, because everyone's team's different, aren't they? So
yes,
you know.
yes. Thank you. I'm listening to what you're saying, and at the same time, I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna have another series on interviewing trance medium. I'm telling you this stuff. When I'm in the zone, I'm in the zone, and here I am, and I'm in like already like super high vibrational. I never did come down from yesterday, and I hope I never do.
I always think,
And I love hanging out with you.
I think with mediumship or trance or any form of development with mediumship, it's important that we don't take control. It is the spirit world that are teaching. We're part of the teaching because obviously they need us to speak, don't they? But it's them that are doing the work, and we're sitting here for spirit. So it's important that I always think, stay humble within that.
Yes. What is the best way to get out of the way? I don't know if it's phrasing that right. I know with channelers, they usually talk about getting out of the way. And I know because I kind of use that same expression for myself, because I'm not, but anyway, you know what I mean? Like to quiet your own mind and allow them through.
It's so hard. It's so hard trying to clear the mind. I mean, my guides work so differently to other mediums. So other mediums will say, well, I don't work in the way Janine does. But my guides say to me, we want you to go to sleep when you're in trance. So I actually literally take all the pressure off me psychologically and mentally. And I visualize, it sounds daft, I visualize putting my head on a pillow and just going straight to sleep. And then I get my brain waves out of the way, I get my brain out of the way, I get my every thought out of my mind out of the way, just like you do when you go to sleep. And then they step in, because you've removed yourself on that awareness level. And then when they step in, your awareness comes back a little bit so you can hear them, and then they take me back down. So it's that backwards and forwards. But I mean, not every trance medium works like that.
Do you dream while you're asleep in trance?
Sometimes I'll dream as well. So
that's totally multidimensional. Do you see what I'm saying? That's like telepathy. So she's like, she's dreaming, but she's there, but she's talking. Her body is being, she's channeling spirit at that very moment. So you got all these. Oh my God, that's so cool.
But I wouldn't dream of going to another medium and saying, well, you've got to go to sleep when you're in trance, because that might not work for them.
Right.
You know what I mean? That might completely throw them, and they might go, well, actually, I have more awareness when I'm in trance and receive more clairvoyance, because their guides will work with them in that way.
Right.
So I think it's important, I don't know, as teachers, if we're teaching trance, is to go, okay, I'm not going to teach in one certain way. I'm going to allow your teams to develop you.
Beautiful.
That progression. That's what I feel. Well, that's just what my guides teach me. It's just coming
I
from my
understand.
mouth.
Yeah, that's. I love what you're saying. It makes totally resonates with me, Janine. Totally 100%. So, what do you think, guys? Are we ready to speak with Janine's amazing guides and ask about 2020 or 2021 and beyond, and whatever if it resonates, and pop your questions in the comments. And if you're watching on the replay, I love you. Welcome. Be sure to join, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I've got to remember to say that. Please like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. If you're on Facebook, give it a heart. Send us a bunch of love. And yeah.
Anyway, I have no idea because I can't see the live stream.
Say that again?
Who is here? I have no idea.
Let me see who's. Okay, Rachel Loves.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much. That's so cool. Where she goes, remember me. I don't know, dear. I don't know if I do remember you or not or don't right now, but I'd love to talk to you. But this just isn't the moment. Ribble and Lisa and Ross McMaster and Penelope Rose and Allison Reynolds from Scotland and Kathy W. And does anybody have me? Yes, Hans. He's saying, if you're sensitive, can you be a medium? I think that's for you. That's a perfect question for you to answer. Hans is asking, if you are a sensitive, can you be a medium?
Of course, I think every single person has the capability to work with spirit on any different level. It depends on what they're wanting to work with. It could be medium, it could be healing, it could be anything. I honestly believe you can't tell somebody that they can't do something for spirit because they already are spirit. They're capable of being part of that spiritual development with their guides. Because we are spirit, aren't we? Having an earthly existence. So it's impossible for us not to connect to spirit. If we only open the consciousness and the mind and quieten it, then everybody can connect. That's what I feel anyway.
Great answer. Wow, great question. Let me see. Becky back there is saying like they think you're so it's a good thing you mentioned the comments because there's questions here and I wasn't even seeing them because they weren't showing up on Be Live. Julie said, "Oh, Julie's here. She's here. Hello." So right now, so let me see. Becky says, like they think you're falling asleep. Okay. She goes, do you ever have random trance moments when you are around people? Well, that's an interesting question.
Oh, yes, I do.
You're falling asleep moments.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Sometimes if I'm talking to somebody on the phone or something, and I'm busy talking away and giving them like spiritual guidance, I can feel myself sometimes the trance guys stepping into the energy. That I feel a bit sleepy and I think, oh, hang on, they're there all of a sudden, and I'm suddenly aware that they've stepped in. But yeah, that can happen. I reckon. I think it can anyway.
So you get sleepy. Being sleepy is one of the ways that you know that you guys are stepping in.
Yeah. Sometimes it can just. I mean, and most trance mediums will say that, won't they? Sometimes if they're sitting with somebody or the energy's right, and they're not in trance, they can suddenly feel themselves slipping into trance. Even though they're not in trance, they can suddenly think, oh, my guides are here. And I feel like they want to speak through me. But you can't let it happen because it's not appropriate at that time. But yeah, I do get it.
I haven't necessarily had that so they can speak through me feeling at the moment. I mean, for a while. Well, what I'm trying to say is like when I'm hosting the healing gatherings for Debbie, and I sit for trance every day. I don't usually, and I actually do heal with trance, but I don't do it anyway. But I do. I haven't advertised it yet or anything, but it's what I've been doing, and it's really effective. Yeah, I didn't even tell you because I've been like really quiet because the ego is like, well, you haven't been doing this very long, and all those other trance mediums have been 20 years, but it's not,
I think we've been doing it our whole lives and in many other past lives. We already know that we can work within spirit because it's already there in our own spiritual self. Do you see what I mean? People can say it takes that long to develop. but it doesn't take that long to develop. It only takes as long as you decide it's going to take, and how much you're willing to let go, and how much you believe in what you've learned from other lives and in this life. It's believing in your own spirit, not setting the time limits.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, that's coming from Richard, actually. He's overshadowing me slightly.
Exactly what I needed to hear. Thank you. And which means there are other people that needed to hear that today too. Yeah. Because there was a part of me that was, and it's weird because for the most part, I don't care what people think. At least that's, I mean, and I don't mean that, and that sounds terrible. I don't like the way that came out at all. Let me backtrack. I mean, I don't live my life to please other people. I live in my alignment coming from love, and I don't focus on, I don't worry about what other people are thinking about me and how they're perceiving me. I just be me. I'm the best me that I can be at every given moment. And I love myself there. And that's what I meant by I don't care. I do care, but I don't live my life to please people. But what I was about to say is that I was feeling embarrassed about telling you and some of our other trance medium friends about that. And yet I've been doing it. I'm very, you know what I mean? And when I'm sitting with Debbie, which is what I meant to start to help say in the first place. Yeah. And behind the scenes, and she's on screen doing trance. Right. And sometimes the energy is so hot, Janine, that I'm literally lifted out of my body. And I'm like, I'm trying to pull myself back like a helium balloon. I'm like, wait a minute. I got to make sure that everybody's talking and stuff. You know, I'm facilitating the back end of the broadcast. And then all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, no, wait a minute.
But I honestly believe there's no, I mean, if you think about it, there's no time in the spirit world stuff. But yet we set time restraints on our development, don't we? And we set rules. And I think there is no time. Mm-hmm. I mean, we set the time restraints. We're the only people that hold ourselves back. Nobody else.
Gosh, that makes and it's funny because I know time is a linear man-made construct, and at the same time, I also know I knew these things, but I didn't put them together. I didn't. I was in the old. Hang on, I got to put my water down. I was in the old thought paradigm. I literally didn't. This is like a link to the new thought and the old thought. Do you ever do that? Like you bump up against an old belief. It was a limiting belief, and you bump up against it, and you're like, oh wait, it doesn't even make sense. And I believed that for how long? That just happened. It just happened live, just now. If you think say that it takes a long time, and I'm worried about judgment. What just
we create reality. We create our restrictions. We create our limitations. And it's like I only speak from what my guides have taught me, not from anyone else. And they say to me, we're the only ones that limit ourselves. If we were to only let go and trust within ourselves and within our spiritual team, they could develop us in whatever time frame they decide to do. Do you see what I mean? So, and they have to work hard at that. They have to work extremely hard to develop us. But if we're willing to go, hey, okay, come into my energy, I'm here for you, I surrender, and I will work with you 100% and have complete trust, it's limitless. Do you see what I mean? So that's what I think. People might think, God, that's mad, but that's what I think.
Oh, I love it. I appreciate it. You are very wise, my friend. Very wise. You know, and a lot of us in the spiritual community, where we were always like afraid to like say what we thought or whatever, because it was never like other people. So we weren't, most of us, there's some of us that are different, but so most of us, I feel like that we weren't encouraged to be ourselves as children, which is all good. These are choices that we made to grow and become who we are. But now that we're starting to speak our truths, I see that same thing in myself and you and in so many other people, where they're like, well, it's just my opinion. Yeah, that's the reason you're here in front of thousands of people. You know, eventually there'll be thousands of people. I know, because I know what I know. You know, I don't think there's thousands right at this moment, but there will be trust me, watch this video take off. Mm-hmm. But this is important because so many people going through this awakening right now are highly sensitive people. What was that question? Who asked that question before? For Hans asked him if you're sensitive. I believe like Janine said, everyone has the ability. We're all connected to spirit, and I believe more than ever now the sensitives are waking up, right? Yeah. And becoming aware of their gifts, and there's no difference between you and I, or Janine and I, or you and Janine, and all of us. You know, we just practice things more than whatever. You know, maybe you practice more than we do. I don't know, but you know what? Am I making any sense here, Janine? I don't know.
I think it's impossible not to be sensitive. We're all empathic. It's whether we've closed it down or opened it up. And some will choose not to use it in this lifetime, and some will. But every single one of us is spirit. We're all spirit. You know, there is no limit to what you can do if you just look at yourself as spirit and just get rid of that physical body and just see you. This is you. This is how you are. Be present with that. You know.
I love that. Thank you. All right, I guess I love talking to you, but I think we'll bring in the guides now. And
but I think that's already the guides, actually.
Yeah, I know. I actually know. I see them around you, and then I also hear that I know you, and I know their energy when they're coming through you. It's fascinating.
So you
okay.
muting me then?
Did you want to go in trance, or you're good to channel this way? Whatever you want to do.
I'll go into trance. Absolutely. Are you going to mute me when I'm? Are you going to mute when I'm talking? Hang on, or when my
am I still echoing for you? Absolutely, I will.
Right, because it's echoey a little bit back here. I'm getting used to it. Shall I do a little opening prayer, or is it up to you?
Yes, please. I'm going to keep muting in between, so give me a second to unmute. But yeah, please do whatever you like, and I will.
All right then. May we invite our beautiful trance guides and our inspirers, and to come through and to blend with me and merge with me tonight, to bring your inspiration and joy. We only work for the highest intent and highest vibration of love. We welcome you into the space to bring healing, joy, and inspiration. And so it is. Amen. Okay. See you in a minute. It might take 4 or 5 minutes or less. I don't know. So, okay. Make sure I don't knock my laptop over. I did the other day when I was in development. I woke up out of trance and it was upside down, and yeah, couldn't be seen. Okay. God, I can feel him here already, Meagan.
Welcome.
Hi.
Forward. Yes, my dear, and very, very happy to be here, of course, to talk to you.
Thank you so much. Richard?
Of course, yes.
Excellent. Oh, thank you so much for being here. I think I just said that.
Of course, Janine is struggling with the technologies, but I would, of course, we will try to sort it out for you.
Sorry, there was an echo there for just a moment.
Of
So I wanted, is it okay if we ask you some questions?
Yes, of course, you may continue. We're quite happy to answer the questions as clearly as possible. But I would like to say a few things, if you don't mind.
Please go right ahead. Whatever you'd like to say. I will mute myself. Yes.
Janine is a little bit nervous, so we're going to help her, I would say, to relax a bit. But I would like to bring the information through tonight, just a little bit of, I would say, inspiration to you all. As many of you are going through, I would say, a difficult time round the world at the moment, and you call it I would say, the awakening, don't you? You're all connecting to yourselves. I would say the shadow self, isn't it? You are connecting and healing. But what you must understand in the world, the awakening has been happening for many millennia, not just, I would say, in this year or the following year, 2021. It's been happening for many millennia. If you think about when the first man existed on your world, he would have been there as an individual, gathering his family together, reproducing his family, creating generations of family. As a creation of the human mind and the human genetics were created within Mother Earth, the consciousness would rise. The first man was quite limited, I would say, with the intelligence, wasn't he? You call it the cavemen, don't you? It's quite comical, but we don't call them that. They are just like yourselves, but they have come from a different intelligence. I would say receiving information into the mind at that time. But of course, as the families reproduced and became larger, the intelligence and the information came through much clearer. Hence, many of you have very high intelligence now and high IQs. And in the world of the living now, many of you are able to work out different sequences of mathematics and English and have quite a lot of intelligence. But this has taken many millennia to achieve this. It has meant that going through many awakenings, and I would say spiritual awakenings, the creation of man, the consciousness, the mind. The mind is limitless, it is never ending, it's constantly creating its reality. The consciousness is growing. So, of course, as the generations went through from many millennia, even into the 15th, 16th, and 17th century, and into the century of now, 2021, approaching, the intelligence and the awakening is becoming more evolved, more intelligent. The vibration of the world is rising. It is connecting. Of course, the vibration back when man began was very low. The vibration wasn't that high, so therefore the intelligence wasn't being received from spirit very well. But as time has gone on and the millennia has, the connection is much stronger now. So when you're all sat here tonight thinking, well, okay, we're going through an awakening now, I should get over this very shortly. You are not going to ever get over it. You will continue with your awakening for the rest of your life, your earthly life, and into the next earthly life if you choose to do so. It is a never-ending sequence of energy and vibration and consciousness. The consciousness within yourself is that beautiful light. It is expanding into the universe, the space, the dimensions and times. You are limitless with time. It is only the physical body that is holding you back. Connect to your spirit. Allow the consciousness to rise. As you approach 2021, as Janine has asked me to talk about tonight, You will enter the next level of consciousness, the rising of the soul. And I will say into 2025 will be the pinnacle moment of your awakening. You will be connecting to the higher dimensions, the vibrations of different spiritual beings. They will sort of like be able to come closer into your energy because the vibration would have rose. But this has been planned for many millennia. Even before I was born, I was in the time of the 18th century of my time span. But the awakening was happening even before I was born, for many hundreds of years. So I would say rest assured, it will not end yet. The awakening is a progression. The question is, are you going to fight it, resist it, or accept the energy as it comes forward to you? You've been all brought into this lifetime to learn, to accept this healing energy, to face yourselves in this world, to see your spirit, to understand it, know it, and feel it. This is the true awakening. And you will have many other lifetimes in the future, and you will continue to go through this awakening. It is endless. There is no time. There is no limit to what will happen. So don't resist. Just enjoy the experience. And when the negativity comes, it has come to teach you and help you to learn and understand yourselves. This is part of your awakening too. You have a choice in this world to fight it or receive it. And when you receive that energy that you are not understanding and is vibrating a little bit negatively, it is not negative. You are working with the vibration of your soul to heal it and understand it. So allow yourselves to heal. If you had a little child in front of you or a family member, you wouldn't want them not to heal within. You wouldn't want them to block their emotions out. You wouldn't want them not to accept themselves. Why would you reject your own soul? Look in that mirror, as Janine was saying earlier. I was listening and transferring the information. You must look in the mirror at your own soul and see that oneness, see that brightness. You will see the molecules of energy vibrating around your energy field. But your energy field does not stop just on your normal auric field as you understand the different vibrations of colour. It goes beyond that. There is the spiritual aura that goes beyond your physical aura. It is full of molecules of energy and vibration. It is connecting to the universe. Many of us can connect to you from many millennia, many light years away. It is the imprint of your lives, your spiritual lives. You are endless. Your lives will never end. It will continue and continue and continue. When your physical form is gone, your consciousness will continue to live within the spirit, within the consciousness of the universe. Of course, your consciousness and your spirit is connecting to the universal energy. The universe, the blackness of space, as you understand it, says many planets and many dimensions. That is a form of consciousness. How do you think the universe shows itself to you in the darkness of the sky and you see the stars? It is showing its consciousness to you, but the retinas of the eyes only see the darkness because your eyes cannot comprehend or see the real consciousness of the universe and space. It is so bright that you will not be able to see it with your physical eyes, or your physical form. But your spirit, I would say, is very connected to the universal consciousness. You are limitless. You live within the universal consciousness, the many dimensions of space. You are part of that. You are vibrating with the energy. The universe connects to your aura, your vibration. It connects to Mother Earth. It is communicating with your soul. It is communicating with the earth plane, the vibration of the earth. You are all interconnected. But I get very excited when I get the time to talk, my dear. But I will not continue, and I will answer the questions, but I will confuse many otherwise.
Thank you so much, Richard. That was amazing. That was so amazing. So 2025, you're saying that will be the like the pinnacle of our awakening in this time space reality. Is that right?
Yes, of course, this will continue, but it will be the strongest energy, I would say, stronger than the energy that you are experiencing now in this millennial year. If you associate 2021, but that is only the beginning of your awakening, you've barely scratched the surface. You're on the pinnacle edge of just beginning to understand your own awakening. But you call it the awakening, don't you? But it is a vibration of energy. You're just connecting to your soul. But yes, 2025 will be the strongest vibration of energy. Many of the light beings are sort of planning to come much closer to the planetary system and closer to your energy. But they are waiting for the vibration, the healing to progress within your souls so they can connect with your soul. They are waiting for the transition of your awakening. Because when you go to the spirit, when your turn has come for life to end, they want the vibration to be at a certain level so they can connect with you and work with you. There is going to be much work from the spirit for many of you to do. You are I would say, the children of the spirit who are going to be working through many mediums in many millennia and lifetime to come in the future. I'm going to take you, say, 200 years down the path, down your road when you have passed. You will be educated and taught within the spirit of the vibrational energy to help many of the mediums for the future in this world. Many of the children, the light children, have been prepared to be born into this world and into this time over many millennia. The creation, the expansion of consciousness, the awakening is limitless. I hope that has answered the question.
Perfect. Wow. Thank you so much.
Of course, I
So
try not to talk for too long, my dear.
no, I appreciate it. I'm muting myself in between. Um, so I want to. I don't know. This is coming up, so I'm going to ask. So how can we? Okay, so we know that time is a man-made construct and it doesn't really exist in spirit. And my question is, how can we as humans in this reality um, bend time or step outside of time, perhaps, and maybe create more time when we want it or something like that? Is this possible, Richard? And I'll mute myself again.
Well, of course, quite a question indeed, and I don't get often to answer questions like this. So I would say we are quite happy to ask this and send it to you. But I'm going to say bending of time and space, isn't it, that you are asking? But this, of course, there is no such thing as time. It is limitless. You are already in the limitless time. You are vibrating with the speed of light. So of course you are living on the Mother Earth, you are on the gravitational pull. It is the gravitational pull that is slowing down the time on your planet. Because if you were vibrating at the same level as space, for example, the speed of light and time, you would not be able to cope. Your bodies would not be able to, I would say, survive or function. But time is limitless. It does not exist. Imagine it, you're looking at the universe, you're looking at time and space, and you think, well, it's going to take this many years to reach the moon, as NASA has. Many of the explorers have taken much time to get there. But it is the gravitational pull that is slowing down the time within your universal plane within Mother Earth. It is only gravity. It is gravity that you are experiencing, not time. Gravity is holding you to the earth. It is slowing things down a little bit, allowing you to walk and vibrate and talk. If you did not have the gravity of Mother Earth and you were in space, everything would float around, wouldn't it? You wouldn't be able to speak very well or walk very well. And if you hurt yourself in space, the molecules of the blood that would seep from the veins, if you hurt yourself, would float around in space, wouldn't it? Because there is no time and element and speed. It is there and just present within its time. But the gravitational pull of Earth slows down that time so you're able to catch up. But time is just gravitational pull of the earth. There is no such thing, because gravity within the earth will help you to grow your plants and trees, establish you to have children and be able to survive. This is how you survive on Mother Earth, isn't it? You are the children of Mother Earth, your creation of Mother Earth. You're breathing the fresh air, the vibration of the sun, the weather, climate, the rain and the storm. But this is all caused by gravity, not time. In space there is no such thing, and within the spirit there is no such thing as time. It is Manelia, it is limitless, my dear. We move beyond the speed of light. We move so fast you would never keep up with us. Do you see? I hope that has answered the question.
Yeah, now you can hear me. That was amazing. Thank you very much.
Well, you're welcome, my dear. I have not gone far.
Hi, Alice.
Yes, I'm here in the background and listening intently. But I try to come through and talk a little bit occasionally. But Richard likes to say his bit, doesn't he?
Oh, you're both awesome. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
So let me see. And Janet Byron is saying hello, Richard. Okay, and hello, everybody. So Mystical Gypsy is asking about in case there's for anyone who doesn't know who you are yet, Alice or Richard, can you give us a little bit of information about who you both are, please?
Well, of course, I've been working with Janine for a little while now, but during my time I was a nurse. I used to look after the children, and during the First World War, I would say, I used to look after many of the war veterans, so to say were hurt very badly within the war. So I used to look after them. And this is why I sort of work with Janine with the healing. I tend to work on the vibration of healing, bringing the loved ones through. Essentially what I do is Richard tends to bring more intelligence through. You see, as I'm still learning in the spirit, we are all learning, aren't we? And it is never ending. But yes, my mission is for self-care and love and bringing the emotional stability, I would say. But yes, during the First World War, I looked after many of the war veterans. But yes, when I was a young child, I was orphaned off, I was. So my parents sort of were my adoptive parents, and they looked after me during this time when I was very small. And I grew up having to look after myself a lot. I was very sort of self-independent, and I ended up looking after my father quite a lot as he got poorly in the older years. But I teach Janine the strength of mind, the ability to keep going, and the care, the emotional care and physical care within many.
Sorry, Alice, I had to unmute myself. Thank you for that beautiful answer. You're amazing, and you are Janine's. Are you her main spirit guide?
Yes, I've been with her for many years, but she doesn't believe me, of course, my dear. She thinks, well, no, who's Alice? Just a figment of her imagination. But I've been here for many years. I've been in the background just waiting for that pinnacle moment to come through, really, and try to work with her. Yes. But we have come from many lifetimes together, too, as she once was my daughter, too, my dear.
Nice. I like that. Well, I have an interesting question that I didn't know I was going to ask. So, how were Janine and I connected in other lives, or were we connected in other lives? I feel like we were.
Well, of course, you both know that you were sisters in past life, as Janine knows. But you had other lives together. And you were her father in another life before. Yes, you were very connected. So, yes, you were, I would say, I would say more wanting to support and guide her on her way. She's sort of come into this lifetime now, as you've probably noticed. Janine might not appreciate this and doesn't know anything about it. But yes, I would like to go back to the 15th century. And you were a philosopher at the time, and you connect very much to philosophy and the speech of philosophy. And you would read rather a lot, and you used to teach and educate within your time. And you were called David, my dear.
David. Oh my gosh, I'm so blown away right now. I don't even know
Yes,
what
of
to
course.
say.
You appreciate it though, but I will leave that thought with you.
Say that again, please.
I will leave that thought with you, my dear.
Thank you. Wow. Wow. I'm like, that was amazing. I'm so excited to hear that. Goodness. So I did have another question, but now I can't think of it because I'm so excited about that one. And Mystical Gypsy is saying, I feel I am connected with Janine and wonder what lifetime. That's an interesting. Do you need her real name to ask? I mean, is that okay to ask? I wasn't planning on going this way, but being she's asking, I mean, if it's okay with you.
It will, of course. Fire away, my dear.
So, Mystical, what is your name? I know your name is Debbie, but you could probably tune into her without their name. But anyway, she's asking, I feel I am connected with Janine, and I'm wondering what lifetime. So, how were Debbie and Janine connected?
Well, I'd like to say to this lady that she has been suffering with quite a lot of high vibrational sound, and she gets a little bit nervous around certain sound vibrations. So she hears a loud bang, I would say, she sort of reacts to it, and she's a little bit jumpy, I would say, and doesn't like a lot of noise around her. But I would like to say that she was connected to the Cromwellian times, through the Cromwellian War. And yes, she was in that time era, my dear. But yes, she was connected to many of the explosions that would have happened through the cannons that would have been sent out to war, and many of the military officers. But she's had a little bit of fear of enclosed spaces, I would say, loud sounds that she's brought into this lifetime now. I hope that's given a little clue for this lady.
Wow, that was amazing. Thank you for that, Alice. And she's saying, "Oh my God, yes, Alice is correct."
Yes, of course. But she was married during this time, and she had about 5 children. And the 5 children, I would say there were two sets of twins, and one little boy called Edward. And she had a large family, but she's very maternal and likes the children to be around, doesn't she?
Wow, you're amazing. I can talk to
Yes,
you all day. That was. Did you enjoy that, Debbie? I thought that was so cool. Oh my God. She goes, I have problems with certain sounds. Exactly what you're saying, Alice.
of course.
So let me ask you this, Alice. So during this what we understand is the awakening, right? I know for myself, I feel like everything is coming online. I don't know. That's like a computer. Like I really feel like I'm waking up to everything. Like all my gifts are like coming online. Really, that's the best way I could even think of it. I probably didn't think of it myself. Thank you, Spirit. So that's what I'm feeling. And so I think a lot of people, I know a lot of people, I know this in my soul, a lot of people are going through something similar, but they don't even understand what it is. And so what do you have to say to help people that are out there that are going through this and maybe are not sure of what they're experiencing and if it makes any sense and how to handle it? I'll give that to you and I'll mute myself.
Well, could you just, I would say, repeat that a little bit more? We're trying to use Janine's ears here. So,
Richard? Yes. Okay, what did I say? I don't remember. Yes, I do. All right. So what I'm wondering, and I'll slow down a bit, Richard. I can speak very quickly. I'll get excited. So we are going through this time, as you know, that we call the awakening. During this time, I know there are many, many people whose gifts are coming online, so to speak. Their clairvoyance and clairsentience, all of these things, they are becoming more highly sensitive, and a lot of people are not into spirituality and grounding. And I don't know what I'm trying to ask. A good question. What am I trying to ask? What advice do you have to people that are just waking up now? That's what I want to know. Thank you.
well, of course, I will give a little bit of advice as best as we can and try to get Janine to step out of the way a little bit. But what tends to happen is many of you will experience the awakening for most of your lifetime. But you have not been, I would say, aware of it because you've been not connecting to the spirit. So you're not aware that you've been going through awakening. So you may experience in your lifetime when you are not connecting to spirit, maybe I would say a job change or a dramatic change in your life, maybe a separation, I would say, with a family or your children. And these circumstances of energy and change are all part of your spiritual growth, part of your awakening that you may not be even conscious of and knowing that you're working with. But that has all been pre-planned. So you'll always be connecting to spirit on the subconscious level, I would say, because you are experiencing the challenges of life. Your spirit is intended to connect with the challenges that you need to experience and to learn from in order to heal. But when you are starting to come into the awareness of spirit, as many of you will, you'll think, well, I'm just starting to be aware of my spirit guides, I would say, or many spirits around me. I'm starting to sense and feel and hear, as many of you will understand this. But what you must understand, your vibrational spirit is reaching out to you. You're multifaceted. Your spirit isn't just within your own body and your physical self set in place there. Your spirit and consciousness is within the universe and space. So when you start to see that connection from spirit coming close, you may even, I would say, see it in your mind's eye, or physically with your eyes, you may experience seeing the spiritual realm. You are connecting with your own spirit. You're making that connection. But of course, many of the spiritual beings, I would say many of your loved ones and guides will come forward too to make that greater connection. But you never truly leave your own spirit. You know, it is present within your soul always. You're walking around as spirit with a physical body and a physical form. You can never lose sight of your own spirit. Because if you imagine you're already in that spiritual realm, coexisting in the spiritual realm as well as having your physical earthly lives, your spirit is channeling and bringing the information to you, your higher consciousness, I would say. That is what you call it. But it is your own spirit guide. Your spirit is working from that dimension, bringing the information to you to bring to many of your friends and family, if you're already a medium, to bring that guidance. And the other parts of your spiritual team will come into that energy of you within the spiritual realm and bring more information through too. It is never ending, really. So you're all connected to your own spiritual self. But some of you will make that connection now and just start to grasp that connection. So it's rather like you're just reaching the outer planes of your own spirit, making that connection. But if you are choosing, I would say, to make that greater connection and move forward, and you say, well, actually, I would like a stronger connection. I'd like to connect to the guides. Many of you will think, well, I'll meditate. And of course, this is a very good idea because you'll build that connection with us. Many of you will spend time working with spirit or development groups, as you call them in your world now. We didn't have these when I was alive. We had to keep things behind closed doors a little bit. But of course, when you reach your own spirit, you start to heal within. You heal your consciousness. You face the trauma in your life, the challenges in your life. This is the greatest, and I would say I always taught Janine this will be the greatest development of your spiritual path. You will achieve that greater link with your spiritual team, with your own spirit. Once you start the healing, it is the only way forward. This is what your awakening is about. It's the connection with yourself. That is the greatest path, the greatest link. This is going to move you forward if you're wanting that greater connection. I hope that's covered it.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Richard. So let me ask you this, please, about, after talking about time, it sounds kind of trivial, but I'm interested. I think others might be too. In cars and homes and the way that the planet, the way our world is going to look in the upcoming years and the changes that may occur.
Well, of course, the world is going to change a little bit, isn't it? Of course, over many millennia, as it has changed, as I was discussing before, wasn't I, about the first man and woman existed on Mother Earth, how the intelligence and the consciousness have changed. But what you must understand, most of your technology has been received, the information from the spiritual realm, rather like your little downloads. How do you think the aeroplane was designed and the car? Many of these NASA expeditions, the downloads of information have been brought from spirit, have been brought into this world for you to use and to bring that higher intelligence through and the technology into your world. Your spirit is communicating with the higher dimensions. Many of these light beings already many millennia away and far ahead of your intelligence now. They are bringing that information and that download with many of the new spiritual children that are born into the world. They will send the downloads of information into the consciousness, into that spirit of that child, in order to enhance the technology of your world. What you must see and understand from the Spirit, when we are in the Spirit, we create with what we want to experience and feel within our divine light and our energy. If we want to experience something from, I would say, our past lives, something that we enjoyed, we will bring it into our reality of our space and time in the Spirit. We enjoy the pleasures of life. But what I am saying for the future of the world, yes, much intelligence will be coming forward, but where do you think it all comes from? It isn't just from your own intelligence, it is from your spirit, from your team, and many of the light years away of energies that are communicating with you. They already have it all planned out for Mother Earth, the intelligence, the technology that will be coming forward to work with you. And also, I'd like to say that physical mediumship will be changing. Now, Janine doesn't know this yet, but I'd like to bring this forward too. Physical mediumship will be changing over the next, you call it time, we don't have time, but I would say the next 10 or 20 years. The vibrational energy will change. We will break down the molecules of energy between your auras and connect to you with a vibration. But many of these light beings are working on the advancements of using the molecules of energy, of light and colour. We have to use the vibrational light and colour to work with you to do this, you see?
Wow. I was muted. Sorry.
Just
That's
very quiet, of course.
Hi, Alice. Oh my! When I unmute, it takes like a couple of seconds. It seems like an eternity, but of course, there's no time. So
Yes, of course. There is no time.
that was amazing. That was amazing, Alice. What about? It's commonly called disclosure, and I don't know. I feel like some people might be interested. I guess I am. So, about like connecting with our star brothers and sisters. And I mean, I know we channel a lot of them now, but I guess are we going to meet them in the physical and then in the upcoming years, or how does that work? Drop my shell.
That you're going to connect to them in many different sources, I would say. And I would say in the dream state, many of you are connecting to them through the dream state. They are coming closer into your energies, trying to connect to you. Many of you will start to understand and see many of the connections with many of these soul beings that you have been connected to in lifetimes. They are coming closer into your energy too now. Many of you will start to dream and sense different people and with vibrations within the spirit connecting in this dream state. So they are always present with you. They're always communicating through their spiritual self. But what you must understand is they're having an earthly existence, I would say, within the earthly planet that you are all living, as I was once before. But they are also in the spirit too. You are multifaceted. You are working in different layers of dimension, time and space. Imagine it, your cells and your body all split apart and And the molecules of energy vibrate and communicate. They all move around within your physical self, don't they? And they are talking, communicating, and creating the physical body and keeping your body stabilized. The brain function, the heart function, the liver function, and kidneys. All the cells are communicating. Your aura is communicating. The molecules of energy are all communicating. But your soul is vibrating. It is splitting apart like those molecules of energy within your physical body, rather like if you imagine them floating around in space. Your soul is floating around in many different layers of dimension and time. You are coexisting within the future, the past, and the present. You are all connected. So many of your ancestors and many of your soul family are all doing the same. You are all simultaneously connecting with the molecules of energy. So I will bring you another clearer picture of this. If I give you 10 or 20 people into a room and all their souls are vibrating and blending together in different lifetimes and in your present time and past, you're all communicating on a soul level telepathically, even though that you, I would say, not conscious of it. So it is never ending, my dear. But I will try not to continue for too long with that.
Thank you. Is the medium okay for a couple of questions?
Of course, she's fine, but you've been suffering from a little bit of shoulder pain, haven't you, my dear?
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, that's
A
been hurting
little bit
today.
of healing, my dear.
Thank you. Okay.
You're
I want to ask.
you're welcome, my dear. We are both here, you know.
Excellent. So, Alice and Richard, are we, because we are multidimensional beings as well, and so are we also spirit guides? I mean, not all of us, but some of us, or any of us like here in the physical and also a spirit guide for somebody else? Can we also do that at the same time?
Yes, of course. You are all spirit guides. You call it spirit guides, don't you? You are all spirit. You are all connecting to different mediums from different lifetimes. You have been in the spirit making that communication. For instance, I'm here sitting with Janine now, blending with Janine. Okay? And that is the connection there. You have all been doing the same in many light years away and in your spiritual selves. But you are having your earthly existence now. This is why that when Janine was talking earlier, I was encouraging her to explain that you are all spirit. You all have the unique ability to vibrate and use your spiritual gifts. You are all spiritual guides. You have the knowledge and wisdom to give to all. When you go to spirit, what do you think you'll be doing? You'll be helping many and you'll be healing within yourselves, of course, but you will be helping many other mediums for the future. This is your life path. This is your, I would say, the school of learning, putting you all together to learn your human experience, to learn the challenges. This is what it's all about. It is preparing you to work from the spirit, to vibrate and work with the new mediums of the world, the new challenges, the new awakenings that will occur beyond your lifetime. You are here to learn these challenges and bring that information through and that information to come through clearly. But the more that you, I would say, experience in your physical world, the more negative that you experience, the more challenges that you, I would say, experience, you will go into the spirit with that vibration of high vibration of experience and knowing and learning. You see? Quietness. Are we still here?
Even hear me.
Silence.
You couldn't hear a word I was saying. I was just talking about it. Oh, that's interesting. No, I was saying I wanted to ask you one more question.
Yes, we did hear you then, my dear.
Becky,
vibration, the quietness.
sorry. I apologize. I forgot I muted myself. But I wanted, so Becky Beckner asks, can you see connections in everyone, or only who you may have been connected with in a previous lifetime?
You're all multifaceted. You're all connecting. You're all genetically connected one way or the other. If you think of the birth of Christ, wasn't he? He was a healer. You are in his bloodline. You are in our bloodline, Janine's bloodline. You are all connected. You are all connected spiritually as well. In your spiritual selves, in your souls. You are all multi-connected. The connection, the bloodline is limitless. It is never ending. If you think when the first man existed on the earth, and the first woman came along, and you associate Adam and Eve, don't you? The story behind it, as Janine knows. Existence, you have come from that bloodline. Why do you think that you all know how to heal? You have come from the bloodline of God. You have come through that bloodline. But of course, he was in spirit before he came to earth. They taken to the crucifixion, you see.
Richard, thank you for that. This question just popped into my head, so here we go. You ready for a good one? So in our so-called past, were there portals where people could what would I say, like travel to like a great distance to other planets and then come back on this Earth? Did that ever exist on this planet?
Yes, of course. Of many times it has happened. There are portals of energy within the universe now, where the dimensions of time are connected with the speed of light and the sound of light and vibration. Many of these light beams communicate through the sound vibration, through the sound barrier. It is creating a formation of energy to make that connection. This is what you call the portals of energy. But this has been going on for many millennia, for thousands of millions of years. You associate the universe as it is now, and you see it, don't you? You understand it, and you understand the different planetary systems. But there are many other universes beyond the universe that you understand. And beyond these other universes, I would say the consciousness of communication between each universe is vibrating and communicating. And many of these light beings that you understand, you call them aliens, don't you? But they are coming in as a form of energy and consciousness. They communicate with the dimensions of time. They communicate with your universe. They communicate with Mother Earth. They have the intelligence and the vibration to talk to Mother Earth and many of the planets. You're going to say, well, how can the planets communicate to each other and have a conversation? Just as you are to Janine and myself now. But they are communicating through the sound waves of vibration. That is their communication. But that is how the loopholes of communication and portals develop and happen. It's the creation of energy and vibration. I would say storing the energy and vibration up over many thousands of years. As I'm spinning my hand around, imagine the spinning circle of black energy within the universe, the creation of energy. Just a little bit like when I am blending with Janine and I'm using the energy from you, my dear, to help the communication through Janine. I am holding the energy in that space. So in the universe and space, the energy is held, and they will hold that energy and use it to come through those loopholes of energy. But of course, the universes, there are many of them, layers of universes upon universes, and they are all communicating too and vibrating with their consciousness. But I don't want to confuse or complicate things, as I know that Janine is quite ready to let go that far.
Okay, no, that's awesome. Wow, thank you. That was incredible. Wow, mine. Wow, that was great. I think I'm going to say thank you so much for your time and bring Janine back. I have to walk my dogs, honestly, and feed them dinner. And this has been, she's been in trance for a while, so I want to respect that as well.
Yes, of course, my dear.
We're being very grateful to come through tonight.
Thank you. Who are you, please?
I am Ethel. Janine might not like it that I have come through.
Oh, hi. So
Letting
pleasure to
go.
meet
It is the letting go, isn't it, my dear? As I bring the message to let go and trust yourselves. It is about the trust of your own spirit. Feel your own energy, experience it and understand, as Richard said. But experiencing your own soul is a hard thing. Because when I was alive, I didn't believe in all this sort of stuff. I didn't believe in the spirit. But now look at me now.
you.
True, Janine, don't I, my dear? But it is learning to trust within oneself. It is being present and quiet. I used to spend many hours sitting in front of my fire. I spent many years alone in the world. But it was the loneliness that taught me about the quietness of the mind, the connection to the spirit, the trust within your own mind, the decisions you make. Decisions you make in your lives, my dear, must be taken from your soul. Decisions from the soul will take you on the path that is needed. You will hear the voices of others. You will hear the voices of friends. But always come to the heart. I always tell Janine, listen to the heart. Be in the silence of yourself. Loneliness will bring you closer to the spirit self. Many will experience loneliness as a pain, loneliness as a fear. But from my own experiences, loneliness is a connection with the heart and the presence of yourself. Accept yourselves, my dear. Feel the essence of yourself. I don't come with much, and I don't come with much to offer. But Janine is learning, and I will bring more. I will leave, my dear.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here.
She's funny, isn't she, my dear?
Oh, she's lovely. Wow, that was my first time chatting with her.
Well, we like to play around a little bit with Janine, but you'll say it is all my ego, my dear. You're trying to make me look good, Alice. She'll say to me afterwards. But we try to bring them through to enable trust, I would say.
I love it. You guys are amazing. Janine is amazing. I'm going to say thank you. Thank you for now. And I hope to speak with you all again soon if, Janine is drawn to do that. This has been incredible. And I want to, so is there anything that you want to say before you leave tonight? And you're not really going anywhere, but you know what I mean? So you bring Janine back. That's what I'm trying to say.
I will bring her back now, my dear. Yes,
Thank
she's, I would say, a little bit tired, but I will bring her back.
Thank you kindly. That was amazing. Amazing. I drank 3 cups of water, tea, and club soda. It's empty too.
Oh, hello. Oh,
That was amazing.
oh my!
He's saying, "Oh my god."
Stiff as a board. Ow. Oh my
Okay.
head. I'm gonna have to
It's a
wriggle
long
around.
time. Oh my gosh, my computer literally says 444. It's 4 because I keep my my clock set 10 minutes ahead. It's 4:44, which is incredible because I've been seeing 44 and 4:44 every day, like all day. Even the volume on my computer, when I had to adjust the volume, I looked over and it was said 44.
You're kidding. Oh my God. That's
Yeah.
weird. Oh my
Getting very surreal with synchronicities. Is anybody else experiencing that? Like synchronicity is like so common now that if you don't see one, you're like, oh, something must be out of alignment because I'm not seeing the repeating numbers and all the signs that I get on a regular basis.
Yeah, it's amazing though, isn't it? We've got all the fours. My God.
Janine, you were amazing. You're just an incredible trance medium. Your guides are just, I love them. And I met, is her name Ethel? Is that what she said?
Yeah, Ethel is new. There are
I met her.
two more guides that are coming through, but I'm developing with them. But for some reason, Ethel's extremely new into my energy. I mean, it hasn't been long at all, like weeks. But they've suddenly started to come through. But Ethel is the one I'm most comfortable with at the moment. That's new, that's coming through. Whereas the others, I can't seem to let go. Whereas Ethel will push her way through when I don't want her to come through. It's just like, she's there. So yeah, it's weird.
That's amazing. I want to know what that feels like personally. I do. Now that I said that, Spirit's going to make it happen, But I'm just, I think it's just incredible. I just have I know I talk to Spirit too. I know I channel, but still when I see like you and Debbie and all these other amazing, David Strickle, everybody, all my incredible guests, Pamela Busby, William Michael Forbes. I don't want to miss anybody. All of this. Amazing. You guys are all amazing.
Yeah, it's so amazing. And you know what? It isn't all just about me. It's like with the gatherings. I want to show that there are other trance mediums that are able to come out and say, hey, I can speak to Spirit, and not be nervous about doing it and say, okay. Because, I'm still highly inexperienced in my trance, but coming on here tonight or doing the gatherings, it's sort of me sort of saying, hey, come on. You're worthy of yourself. You can trust yourself. You can trust your guides. You're beautiful. You can come and allow them to come and speak through you. And we don't have to hide. You know what I mean?
Your message is, I love your message, and it's loud and clear. Oh, I have to share this with you. It's funny because it's coming through like, Janine, I am your father. I was your father, Janine.
I don't remember any of it. I don't remember any of that.
I was your father in another life, and that's why I'm so supportive of you in this life. I'm like, oh, wow.
God, no, you've got to be kidding. They didn't say that.
That's one of the things. God. Yeah, I was your father, and I was also a philosopher named David.
Oh my God.
Yeah, wow. I have to watch it back because while I was hearing it, I was like, what?
I don't know. See, I don't remember.
We've been sisters, but where. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. You're so excited, but some things I don't have any memory of them saying at all. Wow, odd. Oh my God.
It was really cool. They said that that we were sisters, and I remember when you told me that last year or the year before. But I was also your dad. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was so supportive and encouraging.
Oh God, we're closer linked than I thought. Alex, what are they talking about you? Oh dear.
But it's so interesting, Janine, because I've always felt compelled, like driven almost to support and encourage you. I've always felt that way. You've always said thank you for that. I'm like,
yeah, it's very hard to step back. Very hard to step back.
Father David. David was the father. Rebels saying Father David. Was David? I don't think David was the father. Was David the father? Was David the philosopher? I'd have to watch the whole thing over again and find out.
I don't.
And Mr. Gypsy saying, Janine, you and I were in the war era together.
Ah, right. Oh, I have to definitely listen back then. It's so hard. When you step back as a trance medium, had I heard that being said, if I'd heard it in trance being said, I'd have gone, oh no, Richard, that can't be possibly true. Not for a second. But because he pushed me out the way, it's like it's weird, I couldn't control what was being said. So weird. Very strange.
Yeah, when he came up, he He said he needed to get you out, not get you out of the way. That's not how he said it. He was really lovely about it. You know what I mean? But help you to calm, quiet, or whatever. However, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I have to tell you guys, you know, I mean, I must say that interviewing non-physical beings, and whether it's source energy or spirit guides, is a whole thing that's never been done to my awareness, and I'm doing it just on the spot.
Yeah.
And so I don't always know what to say or how to communicate what's coming through or anything. And so it's just felt very exciting and fun. And I'm glad I can have you all with me on this journey, you know. But if I seem like she doesn't know what she's talking about, which, you know, whatever, you know, it's because, hey, let me see you do it. I don't know, I can't believe I just said that. But anyway, it's obviously self-judgment. You know what that is, right? I know what it is. That's me judging myself, thinking I look dorky.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's all right. I am okay. It's all okay. I have this voice. Go ahead.
Sorry, Karen. If people say to me, sometimes they'll say, "Oh, Richard and Alice said something," and after a reading or something, and I say, "Oh, I don't believe a word of that," and I go, "Oh, I can't possibly be true." And then days come back later, and they say, "Actually, this happened and that happened," and I think, "Really? Really?" And it sort of blows your mind, doesn't it? Because you don't believe what's been said in trance, but when you get something coming back randomly, like you know, spiritual messages or certain situations occurring that they've said that are going to happen, it's just sort of like, oh my God, you know, they do try and reach out to us, don't they, and bring their proof, I think, don't they?
Yes. Let me ask you this. Do you find, because I find myself, even like as much as I know, and as many amazing people as I know, and as many times as I've communicated with non-physical through other people and myself, I'm still skeptical, not of you or me or any of, but of in general, when I first hear something from spirit or whatever, I'm like, is that real? Is that me or is that them? Or you know what I mean? There's a little bit of, and then of course, you know, I allow myself to evolve, but I feel like spirit's saying that I bump into an old thought program or something. Is that how you perceive this? Like, or are you like that at all? Maybe you're not even like that, but
I don't know. Self-doubt does come in with all of us, doesn't it? You know, when we're sat there in trance or doing mediumship. Is that what you're referring to, the self-doubt? Sorry,
not self-doubt necessarily, just like skepticism and spirituality. I mean, I can't even believe that I feel like that at all. I would feel like I would think if I were not me, that I would just be accepting everything. But I don't accept just everything as what it is. I have to feel my way there and know from in my soul that something is real, you know. So when I present somebody on my show, I know what I know. If you don't feel that way, then you don't have to, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to tell you what to think or what to believe, but I only share things that I really believe, you know?
Yeah, it's what you believe in. I mean, sometimes I'll listen back to what, particularly with Richard more so, and he'll say things in gatherings and I'll listen back and I go, really? And I will go, I don't believe a word of that. I wouldn't have dreamt of saying it in trance, because I think, oh God, I just don't come from that intelligence. Do you know what I mean? As Richard does. But you know, and then people ask me, "Oh, what's your beliefs?" Like what you're talking about, and I have to separate myself and say, "Okay, Richard, what is real?" Do you know what I mean? And I start to believe in my guides what's real, because I think what our reality is in front of us and our perceiving of what we think is real is very different. I think what we don't see is more real than our reality.
Yep. I agree with you, honey.
I mean?
I'm going to be right there, honey. My dog is looking at me like, Mom.
Oh my God, yeah.
I'm going to go feed my angels. I have loved this. Like, oh my gosh. Do you think maybe one day we could do a show? We don't have to. I mean, if it doesn't resonate, I shouldn't even ask you on camera, but I feel like I must. It's coming through, so it probably something you're going to say yes to. Okay, Meagan, this way. I'm going to hold on my boo. She's like, Mommy, I'm hungry.
She's
Meagan, I love you. On here. She wants me to scratch her butt. I got to scratch her butt. She's so happy. I love you too. She's such a good girl. She's the light of my life. I love you so much. I'll be right there. I will. She's grabbing my arm. She's like, Mom. You think that she, you know, it's like she didn't eat like a big breakfast and stuff and lots of treats. Mommy, it's imperative we eat immediately. We'll pause here too. My babies. I was going to ask about past lives. Do you think one day we could do a show and your guys will just talk a little bit about past lives? Is that okay to do? Is that even like a thing? Yeah.
it'll be fine. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so much fun, guys. Wouldn't that be fun? You're totally going to want to be here for that shit. I know everybody wants to know, who was I? What did I do? I want to know.
I
That'd
don't
be
know.
amazing. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, I don't know
That
what they'll
just feels
say,
like
though.
great fun.
I don't know
Say
what
that
they'll
again?
say. I don't know what the guides will say, but yeah, we'll just leave it to them, isn't it? We just leave it to them and let them do. Do you want me to do a closing prayer?
Yeah, please.
May we thank our guides and our angels and high ascended masters and our team for blending with us, bringing your love, bringing your support and your protection as we end the session. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. This has been amazing. Thank you, Janine. You're the best trance medium ever. Of course, I know my other friends are also the best trance medium ever. I'm just saying. But you're incredible. You know who you are. You're like, and I appreciate you and I love you. You're an incredible friend and colleague. And I just think you're the best. Yeah. So
thank you, Meagan, for having
you're
me.
welcome.
Thank you, everybody, for joining, whoever's there left. So thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I love you.